Got that international cheer, peace and love with care, cover all that's there. So cover the game from the top to the news, celebrity drama, political trauma, the season of sports from basketball court in the nation, donation, give us support whenever you go, wherever you listen, knowing how you do it, you always glisten. I'm telling you, we gotta get it right. So tune in, baby, right now tonight. She get that rhythm and flow, rhythm and flow. Gotta get that rhythm and flow, rhythm and flow. She got that rhythm and flow, rhythm and flow. Let me hear that rhythm and flow. Radio show.
I want to welcome you to the house that Earl built, the number one internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, an iHeart radio station with over 70 shows, 750 hosts and co-hosts streaming 24/7 on your smart device with internet access. I am big and beautiful. I am fat, but also fabulous. I'm plump and I'm pretty. I'm getting curvy and I've always been cute. But most important, I'm confident. I'm the boss lady of Rhythm Flow Radio, your host, Katie Lowe. We have a great show lined up for you today with trending topics and our in studio guest, professional artist, chef, photographer, and advocate for Black Workers Matter, Eunice Carson. But before we get into our guest, I'm always talking about what's trending on Facebook. And there are a lot of things that's trending. But before I get into them, let me play a track for you by Fellow Soul. And the name of the song is Echo. We'll be back in a moment. Enjoy the music, please.
I must admit, girl, I'm nervous. It's kinda hard to determine, but I don't care, girl, I'm all in, all in, all in. I stand where you can see me. No way, and girl, believe me. I mean it, I mean it. Echo, don't let it go. Echo, don't let you, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you, don't let you go. Echo, 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 don't let it go. Echo, don't let you, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you, don't let you go. Echo, you're telling me that you're nervous. Will it last? No discernment. But you don't care cause you all in. I'm all in. We all in. I stand where you can see me. Through ups and downs, believe me. Not moving, believing. I'm not gonna leave. Echo, don't let it, don't let it. Echo, don't let you, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you, don't let you, don't let it, don't let it go. Echo, don't let it, don't let it go. Echo, don't let you, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you, don't let you go. Echo, echo, don't let it go. Echo, don't let you, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you, gonna let you go. I'm not gonna let go.
The sounds of Fellow Soul Echo. These are local artists. These are independent artists. You can find most of their music on iTunes or what is it, SoundCloud, or some of it on Amazon Music. So support the local artists. These are independent artists. Hey, they're out here trying to make a name for themselves. Please go and buy their music. Okay, I want to welcome you back to the number one internet radio station, intellectual radio. Intellectual radio.com. Well, some of the trending topics of the day, and one that we should all, we should just open our heart to her. Champion, queen, goddess, and mother, Serena Williams wins at the French Open. Now you know that is that is that is off the chain. This is a mother. She wears so many hats. And she done showed you that, hey, baby, I can play tennis, have a baby, and get back on my game. Now, give that sister some respect. Okay? Read the article in our group, Friends Who Like Rhythm Flow Radio. Go to Facebook and join that group, and that's where you will find all of the hot topics. Well, let me tell you what happened over the Memorial Day weekend. The drivers in Wisconsin got the surprise in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The bus drivers, they got a surprise when they got to work. What they found out that every bus had one seat that was reserved in the honor of Rosa Parks. The seats were marked with a sign and a simple rose. Could you imagine getting up on public transportation, especially as an African American, and to see a seat that is reserved for Rosa Parks? I think that is an honor because Rosa Parks was a mother of the civil rights movement. And she was the one who made that decision while riding a bus down in Montgomery, Alabama, that she wasn't going to move. People say she was tired. I don't think she was tired. I think that she felt that, I paid my bus fare. I'm a woman and I should be able to be seated. Who should be able to tell you where to sit? That's that Jim Crow law back in the South. Got to drink at the water fountain, different bathrooms. You can't stay in the hotel. Now they want you all up in the hotel. And they want you because your dollar is a marketable dollar. So, hey, I'm telling you, there are things that are happening. But I want you to know that before Rosa Parks, there was another black lady. Her name was Elizabeth Jennings. She desegregated the rail cars. How about that? That's something that I didn't know. I got the reason about Rosa Parks, and I found out Elizabeth Jennings, who desegregated the New York trolleys 100 years before Rosa Parks. She refused to give up her seat. Um, she refused to give up her seat, and they filed a lawsuit, and she won. Jennings is a monumental American. So you know what? That's why we have to know our history and be able to identify things. Because if we don't read, we don't know. You can't expect everybody to tell you everything. You have to go and read. So that was a great honor uh, for the holiday. Another thing that I found that was just really, really interesting were the disabled children who received these electric cars. There were a group of science, technology, engineering, and math students from Connecticut. They came together and they start building electric carts, and they built them from scratch. And they would give them to kids who use wheelchairs. And guess what? They were for free. I mean, these are things that we don't hear about. They're quiet, but they were free, and they were saying a gift of mobility brought one of the moms to tears. Everybody can't afford a wheelchair. You know, what they call the electric wheelchairs. Everybody can afford. I think it's a hub around or something of that nature. So here, a group of young high school and college students from Connecticut, they all got together and built these from scratch and gave them away. Hey, tell me that's not service. That's a different kind of service, but it's a service. Also, West Point celebrated a record breaking milestone Saturday, graduating the largest class ever of black women. The U.S. Military Academy saw its most diverse class ever. 34 black women graduating together. There were a total of 223 women. 34 of those women were African American. Okay? That's an honor. And they're coming out of West Point. Okay? They said that is the largest since the first female cadet graduated in 1980. How about that? Okay, I'm going to play you another song. I'm going to come back. I have three more articles that are trending on Facebook, and I'm going to bring my guests in. So today I'm going to, I'm going to play this song. I like this. Footsteps in the Dark. This is by Tony Red, and you can get this on her CD, her Redness, on iTunes.
Are we really sure? Can a love that lasted for so long still endure? Do I really care? Let's talk about the distractions going on elsewhere. I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Why? I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Oh, in the dark, baby. Hey, footsteps in the dark. Yeah, footsteps in the dark, baby. Footsteps in the dark. My mind just now and then, looking down dark corridors and wondering what might have been. Something's up ahead. Should I keep that same direction or go back instead? 'Cause I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Ooh, why? I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the hope feels really sure. Can this feeling guarantee your happiness shall endure? Do we really care? Hey, hey, let's look at what's been happening and try to be more. 'Cause I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Ooh, why? I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Honey, let's stop walking around. Cause there's lots of love to be found. Oh, honey, you know I still care, I still care. What's the sense of going elsewhere? You know I still care, I still care.
Ah, those are the mighty sounds of Tony Red, Footsteps in the Dark. Like I say, you can get that music on iTunes or Amazon Music. Support our independent artists. If you have music that you would like heard or played on Rhythm Flow Radio and IntellectualRadio.com, please send that music to IntellectualRadio.com. IntellectualRadio at gmail.com. Let me get that right. But send your music. We will play your music. And if you're an artist and you have music that is radio ready, meaning it must be clean. Now I tell you, I have lots and lots of music, but I can't play it because it's what you're saying in the music that I can play it. So if you clean those tracks up, send them right here to intellectualradio at gmail.com and we will play those tracks for you. Or if you have a product or service, or if you're an artist and you want to be interviewed, you can contact me at Rhythm Flow Radio 5 p.m. at gmail.com. That's RHYTHM Rhythm Flow FLOW Radio RADIO the number 5 and PM at gmail.com. Or contact Intellectual Radio and they'll tell you how to get in touch with me if you can't remember that. Hey, be a guest on our platform. Now, I'm going to let the guest introduce herself because she knows herself better than I do.
Okay. So my name is Eunice Carson. I'm a local artist here. Mainly my major main medium is photography. Been doing that for professionally over 15 years.
Okay.
I just graduated culinary school, so technically I'm a chef on paper.
All right.
So working on that part. And what else? I've done a lot of stuff, but mainly the photography is the main thing. But chef part, that's up and coming.
That's up and coming. All right, Eunice, I really thank you for taking time out of your busy day
Thank you for inviting me.
to come in so that we can get up close and personal and find out who Eunice Carson is. Okay, before we get to that though, there's another trending topic. Mhm. Now this one just blew me. So you know they've legalized marijuana for medical use. In some states they've legalized it for recreational use. But now they talking about legalizing it for the dogs.
Okay.
Okay? This the part to give me. I think it's just somebody greedy. Okay, that's my opinion. Your dog, I know the dog can't smoke, but I want you to know that marijuana comes in so many different forms, edibles,
Right.
oils, balms, lotions, coconut candy, brownies, chocolate bars. I mean, there's just all different forms that we can use cannabis for. And I don't know, giving it to the dog.
I'm even afraid of the edibles, honestly.
Huh?
I'm afraid of the edibles, honestly. I mean, yeah, finishing
Why?
culinary school. I don't know, because like people sent me stuff, like so now the whole thing with the
Hmm.
edibles, but I just don't know. Like as far as taste testing, that's kind of confusing to me.
Honey, I could be a taste tester for marijuana any day. So if you need a taste tester, give me a
Okay,
call.
I was thinking like, how does that work? Like
Oh,
taste.
you want me? I can tell you how it works. I'm a card holder. Now,
Okay, okay, so yeah,
okay,
yeah,
it
right.
works.
Okay,
It relaxes you.
okay.
Whereas when I was taking like Norco and different things for pain,
Uh-huh.
I go to sleep.
Okay.
I can take something that I get from the dispensary,
Uh-huh.
like a gummy bear.
Okay.
That's what I call them, a little gummy. It's a little square, and you take it, and what it does, it relaxes the body.
Okay.
Once you relax, baby, you don't even think about the pain.
Right. So as far as like actually needing to work and facilitate
Oh, girl,
something.
you should see some of the things I've done at home.
Okay.
I get up and I go to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Uh,
I ride a bike for 30 to 45 minutes, and then I use some of the other equipment in the gym. But whereas when I was, and I don't know where I'm taking this show, but I'm gonna bring this back into fold. But when I was taking the pain, the opioids,
right.
all I could do was sleep.
Okay.
All
That.
I could do was
Okay.
sleep. But you are so relaxed. You know, you don't want to overdo it.
Right.
You want to get just enough in your system that's comfortable.
Mhm.
Now, you know, if a person go out and eat 4 or 5 of them,
Right.
hey, they might go into another world. But if you just eat one, a half of one, it's only going to make you relax.
Okay.
Once you get relaxed in a relaxed state of mind and ain't no pain,
Right. Right.
you will do things that you have never done before.
Okay.
Okay?
I have to research that one some
I
more.
mean, that you've thought about doing.
Right.
You
Right.
know, like I'd be like, oh, Doc, I want to move this furniture around, but I'm in
Right.
pain.
Right. Right.
Let me get one of them. Shoot, I might tear up the whole house.
Okay.
But it's a very relaxed feeling, and it does get rid of the pain. But I still don't understand
Yeah, I don't.
how they're going to give it to a dog. That's the part.
Right.
So if anybody can tell me how they're going, well, I guess they could administer it in pill form and maybe put it in a banana or something. And
So why are they giving it to the dogs?
well, because
Med-
dogs have cancer.
Oh, okay, for medical
Dogs
issues.
have
Okay,
arthritis.
I got
Yeah,
you.
they
Okay.
have some of the same illnesses,
Right,
you know,
right.
as we do.
Okay.
So, but I think it's a person that's greedy. But I mean, I think this will probably get
Yeah,
it'll
but
get, probably get legalized,
yeah, they
probably
will.
get passed.
Right. That's for sure.
But to I mean, I think it's somebody they're just really, really greedy.
Right,
Okay. Another thing that really blew my mind was that the Crips uh, filed a document and they're looking to trademark the famous Nipsey Hustle slogan, Marathon Continues.
okay.
I said gangs are getting smart because the more I read, I found out that the Crips and the Blood registered their LLCs in 2018.
Really? Okay.
Now, what gang do you know has an LLC and it's registered?
Right, because kind of you want to stay off the map with that
Right.
one.
you want to be out of the
Yeah,
limelight.
yeah,
So that's something you don't do.
yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe they're taking gangs or looking at things different as a business now.
Right.
You know, instead of going out doing all the crazy things they do. But they are trying to obtain that trademark. But they want you to know that the trademark is going to be used for positive things, such as community based services, such as arranging, conducting youth programs.
Hmm.
And also, slogan will be used to include developing educational manuals in the field of community organizing and gang prevention
That would be
and
interesting.
gang
Yeah.
intervention. So they're going to take Nipsey Hussle's slogan,
Hmm.
trademark it, and then use it for something positive. I think that's great. But I was really, really floored when I found out that
That's interesting.
they had their LLCs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he a part of that or no? Did it?
I don't think they
Right,
just
'cause
did this. They did it after
2018.
he got murdered
Oh, okay.
out there in California. Yeah.
2000. No.
He
Yeah.
got
18.
now he got killed,
It's
wasn't it this year?
yeah. So
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So
So well, he might have been a part of them
right. Okay.
doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying
Yeah.
gangs are getting smart
Right.
and creative.
Yeah.
And somebody told me if I go back and read about some of the gangs that were here in
That's
Chicago,
what I was
that they were
thinking.
getting funded from the city.
That's what I was thinking. 'Cause
Yes.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So I said I was going to go and look that up and talk about that on one show.
Yeah. I grew up in that neighborhood.
Where? You
Where
43rd?
Jeff? Yeah. I grew up 45th in Oakland Mall. So where the Fort, Jeff Fort. Yeah. Back.
Girl, I'll never forget the day I was working 43rd Street.
Mm.
They would get on the bus and say, he got it, he got it, he got it, he got it, he got it. And I was finna say something. That lady said, you just keep driving your bus because he got it.
Mm.
And she said, you know what that mean? I said, no. She said, mean, shut your mouth up and drive that bus. She said, them gangs. I ain't know nobody no gang. I'm from Arkansas. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
But I came up here and I got educated.
Yeah.
If they say he got it, I had to put in my head the CTA paid me $20 an hour to drive a bus.
Mhm.
They did not pay me to police the bus.
Right.
Okay? And if I got 60 or 70 passengers on there and they're trying to go to work, believe me, I ain't going to let three knuckleheads mess up their day
Right.
and my day. So if you ain't got it, don't tell me, sit down, leave me alone.
Right.
Okay? Because these people got to go to work.
Yep.
You know, because most of them that get on there, they're going to ride a block or two. They just want to cause some chaos. Nah, we ain't going for that. Okay, so much for that. Now, this is another thing that I found very interesting. And it was interesting because it was Memorial Day. And, you know, we were thanking the men and women who served. There's a Catholic school that holds funerals for homeless veterans. Now, that made me cry.
Yeah.
Okay? The Catholic school is called Catholic Memorial School. Now, Catholic Memorial School is in West Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Mhm.
And for a veteran who is, I guess, homeless and don't have anybody, when he dies, the school gives them the full honors. They said the service is full because guess what? They go.
That's good.
They attend. So they're giving, even though this person is dead, they're giving them the dignity of a funeral where you're not thrown in a box and put in Potter's field.
Right.
Okay? They're recognizing these veterans. So I just thought that this was a very interesting article. And there's one more thing. Will Smith, I don't think I put this one in here, but Will Smith now, and her name is Dean. Oh, I can't think of her name. But Will Smith and an author, they're getting ready to do, like we had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We talking about the Fresh Princess of Bel-Air. I think that is going to be just awesome. You know, something different. Okay. And you know, it's going to show like all of the things that Will grew up with. It's going to show it from a young girl's point of view.
Yes.
I think this is going to be great.
I'm sure Jada's behind that one.
Girl, you know it. You know it. Who knows? Willow might be the little princess.
That's what I was thinking. That would be. Yeah, I like.
You know they know how to keep that money in the family. Okay, we're going to play another song, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk to Eunice Carson about who she is. Right, Eunice, you're from over around near Inglewood, right?
I'm from everywhere on the south side. Pretty
Are
much.
you, girl?
Yes.
All right now.
Except for Pullman. That's the only neighborhood I didn't live in.
You know what? I met so many smart, interesting people. Mm-hmm. You know, it's about what we get on the news, on the radio. And we're always getting bad news about Inglewood. But I want you to know there's some good people in Inglewood.
Yes.
I've met a lot of good people with interesting careers in Inglewood. They don't tell you about those great people over there. They're going to tell you about all the fighting, all the shooting. But there's some people in Inglewood that will surprise you.
Yeah.
They were born there. Guess what? They still live there. Okay? They did not abandon their community. So when we come back, I'm going to play the song. This is another song by my favorite artist today. And everybody knows her name is Tony Red. And this is called Treat Me Like a Lover. And we'll be back in a moment.
Baby, you know I'd never do one thing to hurt you. Ain't no one up above you. You are my man. But lately I've been feeling sad and just a little lonely, craving your love only. Wishing that you would understand. If you wanna keep me, treat me like a lover. I'm not some tried and true, it's a matter of fact. Cause I need to feel you. Oh baby, it's so strong, don't do me wrong. Don't you make me wait too long. Treat me like a lover. Those little things you used to do, like bringing me flowers, affection, giving showers. I was your girl, but lately you've been sitting up all night staring at the TV. Well, now, what about me? Don't you want to rock my world? Rock my world. If you wanna keep me, treat me like a lover. I'm not some tried and true, it's a matter of fact. Cause I need to feel you. Baby, so strong, don't do me wrong. Don't you make me wait too long. Treat me like a lover. Oh, yeah. Oh, 'cause I need to feel you. Baby, so strong, don't do me wrong. Don't you make me wait too long. Treat me like a lover. Treat me, treat me, treat me like a lover. Treat me, don't you make me wait. Treat me like a lover. Hold me in your arms. Treat me like a lover. Treat me. Don't you make me wait too long.
Ah, the mighty sounds of Tony Red. Treat me like a lady. Like I say, these are independent artists. Support our artists and go to iTunes, Amazon Music, or some of them have their own websites and purchase their music. These are independent artists like their Tony is from down in Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay, but we had several artists from Inglewood, okay, that have music that we play, and you need to support these people. Okay. Now, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, logging in. I appreciate it. I see you, Darcy, Jackie, Annette, Michael, uh, and Peterson. Listen, I really, really appreciate it. I really do. Okay, Eunice. The reason I want to tell you all the real reason I brought Eunice to the show. I ran into Eunice on several occasions. She's always got her camera. She's always taking pictures. So I have my iPhone. I take my pictures too. But she looks like she really gets down to detail. You'll see her bent all over, or bent down on one knee, or she looks like she's almost laying down taking these pictures. I said, well, she can go and do that, huh? I ain't laying down. I'm not bending down to take nothing. I'm gonna do everything with this iPhone. And she's got these nice cameras. So I kept running into her and seeing her. I was like, what's interesting about her? First, I thought she worked for the newspaper because my niece's husband works for the Tribune. So I thought maybe, and I see him out with a cameraman and they're taking pictures and doing things. So that's the first thing that came in my head. Then you see her at maybe a job fair or something. Oh, she's got to work for a paper. So I'm going to see if I can get this interview, right? So I said I was going to say something to her. And I saw her with this group called Black Workers Matter. And I just couldn't correlate it. That's what I'm saying. I knew she worked for somebody else. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be nosy. And I'm going to ask. And when she told me that she, is she is an advocate of Black Workers Matters. But then first she told me all these other things she did. So I was like, well, how did you get involved with them?
Yeah.
You're an artist. You're a professional photographer. And now we can add chef. Almost.
Well,
you graduated?
Yeah.
On paper. On paper. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out, how does all of this get involved with Black Workers Matters?
Okay, so with Black Workers Matter, so basically to get the degree, we had to do an internship. And I knew I wanted to do something where I can give back.
Closer to your mic. Mm-hmm.
Where I can give back and also learn. And because I didn't have community organizing experience or labor organizing experience, I volunteered my photography service in exchange to learn more about organizing and community organizing. And then just working in the culinary field, there's the same issues that Black Worker Matter handle. Segregated workplace, and the kitchen is very segregated, a professional kitchen.
Well, when you told me that you had just graduated from chef school, then I kind of say, well, Black Workers Matters kind of service people in the food service industry. I mean, they probably branch out further,
Right.
But the couple of arguments that I've seen has always been in, people in the food service industry. And they fight for 15 and they help with, doing all these kind of things. So my thing was, I just didn't understand how a chef or a photographer, unless they were working for a company.
Yeah, I had to explain that even for my internship. But basically, it's the same issues. In the professional kitchen, there's a hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
The Black people are on the bottom, Mexicans in the middle, and white people are on top. So it's to deal with that hierarchy and to break those racial segregation, so everybody had equal opportunity within whatever work environment that you're in. It could be a kitchen or whatever. They do more than just food service, but that particular instance, I knew it was relevant for what I was doing as far as in culinary school, understanding how the field worked with chefs in the professional kitchen. Because even if you look at television, you could tell that it's a segregated industry.
Oh yeah, you can look at some of the cooking. That's why I don't watch those cooking shows that come on TV. When Julia Childs was living, I used to watch her because I thought she was funny.
Right.
I love the way she sounded, and she could do little stuff on TV that would just crack you up. Right. The ones that the shows, the cooking shows that come on TV now, they are white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, you will find a Black person, but the majority of them are white.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And it's funny because part of when you think about American cuisine, it's really our cuisine.
Of course.
But I just don't like the label that they try to put on it. Like I was just actually talking to my great aunt about this today, about how it's unhealthy and all the pork and stuff like that. But when we used those ingredients, it was mainly to flavor food. So we weren't eating like pigs, like it was to flavor the beans and the rice and stuff like that. But mainly you ate fish and chicken. That was not, the thing. So I don't like how, so when they say we eat unhealthy, technically, I don't remember my grandmother feeding us like that. We ate a lot of vegetables and out the garden and greens and stuff like that. And just the negative kind of, that we get for our food and being ashamed of it as well with so-called. Yeah.
Well, I guess I think like this. Back to in those times, they ate what they had.
Right.
This is all they had. Okay. They go out there and work in those cotton fields all day. And if they had a bag of beans and a slab of salt pork, they're gonna make a meal out of it.
Right.
Okay. But as we got older and we got more conscious and more educated, I guess I don't remember my mother or father having high blood pressure or anything like that, but maybe they did.
But they weren't really meat heavy, protein heavy. It was more so the protein and the meat was to season, but we didn't eat it because naturally we couldn't afford it. We weren't, so it was just to season the food. But
but they labeled a stigma on it.
Right.
But we start eating different.
Yeah.
And start eating, how they used to wash the salt off the bacon and fry it, where they would eat 2 pieces of bacon because that's all you were going to get.
Right.
So now you walk by a person's plate, they had a whole
portion control.
Okay. So we did some of the things to ourselves.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you on how they tried to make us ashamed of food.
Yeah. So like even in July, I was just talking to my great aunt. She's 81. So I'm going to Ohio to pick her up, and we're driving all the way south, stopping off at each location so I can meet family and document our food history.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I got to get in my mind we're going to be in a car for a month.
Okay, tell me, but I should have got into this first. So you were educated here and you were born in Chicago?
Yes.
Educated here?
Yep.
Are you
No.
a product of Chicago public school?
Chicago public
No
school.
private school.
No, we couldn't afford that. I wanted to go to Catholic school with my friends, but my mom, no, couldn't afford that.
So from high school, you went to college?
I want to say, let me throw this in. I went to a vocational school. So that's a big deal. For me, it's a big deal now because came out of high school with the trade, was able to get a job while in school. So I always work with my hands and
they have so many different adjectives that they put in front of school now. They got a vocational school. They got a STEM school,
STEM,
science, technology, engineering, and math school. They've got all these adjectives that they put in front of. When we was going to school, we just went to school. Okay. You either went to public school or you went to a Catholic school.
Right.
It didn't have math, science, engineering, all of that. It just had 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a little bit kind of different now.
Yeah.
But going to a vocational school is great. Not too long ago, one of I think it was congressman who said that we need to get back to vocations. And the trades.
Yes.
He said because all jobs don't require a degree.
Exactly.
And they needed to get back to it. So
yeah, because that's what like I said, in high school as a junior, I worked as an alteration tailor, and that was a big deal, and being in a store with a particular clientele. Now, when I look back on it, I was just like, wow, that was a big deal because I was like, at least I wasn't working at McDonald's. That's how I was thinking at that time. But those skills allowed me to work in an upscale men's clothing store where at that time, I think even Oprah Winfrey boyfriend was shopping, but I didn't know. I was just like, oh, I'm not working at McDonald's. But that was from going to vocational school. And I had got those skills in my junior year in high school, and
And
it
another
didn't require college.
another thing about going to that vocational school, you have to make sure that you are steered in the right way,
Right.
because y'all might get mad at me for saying this, but I'm gonna tell the truth. When it comes to African Americans, they put you in the food service industry.
Yeah.
And it's more to it than that.
Now
You see it, yeah. If you know, the first thing say, okay, home economics, come on. We all had that when we went to school.
Right.
But now in some of the vocational schools, home economics is totally different
Mhm.
than when we had it. So it can land you in some place, like you say, besides flipping burgers or
Right.
sewing a hem or whatever. You know, it might prepare you for something even greater.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so you went to vocational school, and once you left vocational school and graduated, you
I worked in the industry, switched over to retail, did that for a while. Then I opened up a shoe store.
you did what?
Opened up an upscale women's shoe store.
S-
I know. I was like selling the same stuff that you can get at Nordstrom's, Neiman's
Where were you located?
on 95th, right before you get to
Oh,
right
okay.
across, right by the borders. I was kind
Okay.
of too cheap to go downtown and pay the rent. I should have done. I should have listened to people. I probably would have still lasted.
Wow. I remember a shoe store that was on 79th. I can't think of the name of it back in the day. I think it was 79th.
Cottage,
Uh-huh. On
Caminates.
Cam and Nate.
Right. So that's with that whole industry.
Oh,
Those are
yes.
the people that I work for, like those black entrepreneurs during that time, during the 80s. That because if you remember Stony Island, I worked in that area, so that's like my upbringing. So I saw black people.
Cam and Nate's was the place to go shop
Yep.
for them shoes.
Yep, I saw black people doing that.
Yeah,
in the
once
80s.
they took me there one time,
Mhm.
and you better believe every other Friday.
Did you go down to Maxine's on 87th, Hazel and Low, 87th and Stony?
Mm.
So that was on.
Now, what did they do?
Same thing, women's shoes.
Shoes.
He's still open. They still open.
Cam and Nate?
No, Maxine.
Oh,
so
I was
they
listening
they
to that.
also had women's shoes.
Now, where are they located?
87th, right off of Stony. They've been there
I
forever.
have to go check them out.
Yeah, even so, when I actually the job that I had was right next door in high school. It was a men's clothing store right next door. Yeah.
So,
And
like,
he's still there.
so you know, vocational school can prepare you for a whole lot, right?
But then also, like I said, I saw black people doing it. You know, so it wasn't like foreign. Oh, you know, black people can't have.
Girl,
upscale.
black people,
Right.
listen, black people can do anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
All they got to do is put their mind to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got kids 12 and 13 and graduated from college.
Right.
Okay? They can do anything. Just got to time down and make them work for it. I hate to say it like that, but that's true. Okay. So so on your resume though, I saw something about going to Columbia.
Yeah, that's where I learned photography.
Okay, that's where. And was this before or after the shoe store?
That was around the same time. The last year I was winding down the shoe store, and that was because I just had a son, and I was just like, oh, I want to do something I can stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. And I started thinking I wanted to, go back to college to that point, and then end up at Columbia. But then it's just like, no, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom.
So you changed all of that.
Yeah, but I did end up getting into photography. Loved it, and I've been doing it ever since. And I still love it. That's really my first love, photography.
Is it?
Yeah.
Then something else I read in there. It was about
Second City. I know that was on.
Yes.
That's what throws people off when they find out I did improv.
You did improv?
Yeah, I went there because I basically trying to get a cheap way to learn screenwriting instead of going back to grad school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing well, I don't know. They're doing a lot of classes now at Second City, and you see them online. I know one of the actors that I know is teaching a class up there. but they're doing a lot of
What's his
class on
name?
right.
I bet you.
His name is what's that boy? And
Harold.
Harold.
Yes, I know.
Harold.
I figured that's what you were talking about.
I,
They're
I
not
know if I don't get that name
Harold
right.
Denner. Yep, I know who you're
Yeah,
talking about.
I
Yeah.
took acting classes with him at Santano's studio in
Yeah,
Oak
you told me
Park.
about that.
Yeah, very nice,
Yeah.
quaint, intimate studio where
Mhm.
there is the. I guess because sometimes when they have a real big class, you really don't get the one-on-one.
Right.
In there, you get the one-on-one,
Okay.
and everybody gets a chance.
Yeah.
Really, it's a very nice place. They moved off of Lake Street to Oak Park Avenue down in the basement, right near Lake and South Boulevard and Lake. Yeah. Okay, so now you got all of this training, especially with the being a show. I would think that most of your interests would have been in, I guess it's called digital. Do you ever do any digital media where they do the food or products or services?
So I think I would more so want to spoof a lot of that stuff, and that comes back to the comedy and stuff. Because I
Mhm.
look at it and it's just kind of weird to me.
Where I
and
know.
I kind of did do like my little take on the little tasty videos,
Mhm.
and it's a little weird.
Well, it's like when you ride down the street and you see a Wendy's or a Burger King print ad up on a
Yeah,
billboard.
the advertising.
And that sandwich just looks so good. That lettuce and that tomato, everything just looks good. But then see when you get that sandwich,
It doesn't
it doesn't
look
look anything like the picture.
right. Yeah.
Because they've doctored it up, right?
Yes, most
Okay.
definitely.
So are you going to get into that?
No,
now that
I'm not. I'm not really with advertising. That's more so you're doing what the people want you to do. So you don't go in with your ideas, and I'm a little bit more independent than that. I want to make my own projects and produce it the way I want to produce. So I have worked with photographers that have done advertising or whatever. I worked as an assistant, and that's more so that stuff is already planned out because it has to go with the corporate brand and stuff like that. That's not me. This is basically you being told what to do, and you just bringing a technical know-how to finish their vision. So it's not like
you want to start from scratch?
with
Hey, well, whatever
well,
you do, because you want to bring in your own ideas.
what? No, not advertising is not my thing.
No.
And actually, what's so funny? At Second City, I end up being in classes with art directors. For whatever reason, Second City attract a lot of people in the ad field, and I just knew that's not it. Actually, it's I end up in these worlds that I call white worlds, and no,
No.
you just like you might be like the only black person, so no, yeah. I've had enough of that.
With that improv and that comedy field,
and you're the only person.
That's not no easy field. You got to be one tough cookie to stick with that.
And that's a white world too.
I don't know. We got a lot of
Harold Dennis is probably like maybe like 2 black instructors there. It might be Harold Dennis.
At Second City?
Yeah. And my cousin's brother, I can't think. He's there. Harold, there's not a lot of black instructors there. Not when I was there. No. It's a different. We black people have a different comedy sense than.
Well, our comedy is usually about the way we live. Like, I'm just thinking about what happened the holiday.
Right.
Now, my family, we got together for the holiday, and it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they sang, they danced, they thought they could sing.
Right.
They murdered some of Jeffrey Osborne music. Okay, I mean, but we just had fun, and there was comedy. They did the GoFundMe to help me go to work. Need a link card joke. I mean, it's just something natural, that we have, but everybody can't deliver it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but they do. Actually, there is a black improv troupe, 3P, but as far as it's still pretty white.
It ain't Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been around for years.
Yeah, they start off with the University of Chicago, so that gives you an idea. Yes,
Really?
that's where they originally started at. So that gives you an idea of
Uh,
how
how it
the
works.
the race and the class. Yeah. But the tools that I learned, because that my going into it, I just thought I didn't really know what to expect. But as far as writing, those are great tools to write. So you act out everything before you write. You improv to write. You know,
Okay.
right. So I don't know. Like I think what comes on TV, like the whatever show that is, whose line is it anyway? That's not
Hmm.
technically what we learn. That's like improv for TV, but it's a tool to get stuff on paper to write shows. So you improv it out first, and then if you like it, then you write it down, and then that's how you build your shows.
Oh, just learned something.
Yeah.
I always thought they wrote it down first, like they do,
No,
like they do for the movies. Write a script.
because technically you should be able to improv a movie. Technically. And somebody actually, one of the instructors did do that.
Girl, I bet like a lot of movies that I saw probably Eddie Murphy had played in. I'm quite sure they probably improv a lot of that.
Richard Pryor. Oh my
Richard
God.
Pryor
When
too.
and that was so when I took the improv and then I went back and when I understood what he was doing as far as improv, I'm like, that man is a genius. So yeah, Blue Collar, that was the movie. And pretty much everything in it is politically incorrect. But that is a great movie. I would recommend that. Anybody
Okay,
watching?
I have to check see if I can see. I'll have to check and see if I can find that probably on Amazon.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
okay. I haven't seen
But
that.
those are all politically incorrect jokes. Yeah. Like that would never go over now. But
The reason I say I bet they improv a lot of it is because I missed part of the Jeffersons when they
oh,
did the
okay.
reboot,
Yes.
and they told me that Eddie Murphy
Uh,
messed up big time.
Jamie Foxx. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jamie
Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx
Yeah.
messed up big time, but he just kept going, kept
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it's. I thought just the opposite.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna play one more song and then we're gonna come. You're not gonna believe it. I ain't gonna have time to play one more song. My little old time is gone. Wow. That time went quick. Well, Eunice, I thank you
I
for
hope I answered everything.
gracing our platform.
Mhm.
I do want to extend and because you work with them, maybe
Yeah.
you can set it up for me. I would like to have part of the Black Lives Matter,
Black workers.
Workers
Go
Matter.
ahead.
I'd like to have Black Workers Matter come in and talk about that platform.
Okay. Yeah, I gave
Okay.
Dan your number. He has
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All right. Listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the number one internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, an iHeart radio station with over 70 shows, 70 to 150 hosts and co-hosts streaming 24/7 on your smart device. I want to say, remember, if your favorite show is a J Spot, Dana being Dana, making waves with Miss Darcy, the Drive at Five, he said, she said, or Here's to Life with Zimmer, or Rhythm Flow Radio. They are everywhere, accessible anywhere at any time. You can always check on your favorite show at home or on the other side of the world. And let me see if I can find my cut by Miss Shirley King because every day is a weekend for somebody. So for this is for everybody that's off Wednesday and Thursday. Enjoy the music.
Yo, J May, Shirley King, Frank Grizzle. Just got off of work and I just got paid. Looking forward to the parties I can hardly